Have you ever apologized for things that weren't your fault? Or noticed how people treat your time like it's free? Invisible boundaries don't protect anything. Setting boundaries is hard, setting clear ones is even harder. Boundaries are like the walls of a castle. The quality of those walls will decide how comfortable the relationship feels. Ironically, most of us never learned how to build them. Today, we're going to unpack the meaning of boundaries and learn how we can set them without losing our kindness. Don't mistake a nice personality with invisible boundaries. They're not trade-offs. Letting people walk over us or allowing them to neglect what we're comfortable with doesn't make us the nice person. So, what are boundaries? Think of it like this way. We live in a house and call it home because it makes us feel safe. If we never say no, it's like living in our home without walls. Anyone can walk in or out and take whatever they want. You'll probably think that's absurd, but that's exactly what it's like if you say yes to every request. So how can our inner world feel safe if there's always a free entrance? Boundaries are like invisible walls around our time, energy, and emotions. They aren't there to shut people out. They're there to protect what's rightfully ours. And that begs the question, if we wouldn't defend what's ours ourselves, who would? A lot of us hold the belief that saying no or not pleasing others would cost us friendships. But from time to time, we need to ask whether the decisions we're making are actually aligned with our goals and values. So, how do we set healthy boundaries? There are a few things I'll take into consideration: identity, communication, faith, and discomfort management. Here are a few questions you can ask yourself to gain clearer direction. What are your core values when it comes to things that matter to you, such as time, money, career, or relationships? These answers matter because they help paint a picture of what drives and shapes your identity. As for communication, giving yourself plans to work with paves the way to healthier relationships. So ask yourself, how could you help others acknowledge your core values? How could you naturally mention them in your conversations? What I usually do is that I tell stories. After you have your plans, besides practicing, ask yourself, what would I tell myself if things didn't work out the way I expected? This is actually the part where most of us collapse. Most plans don't fail because they're poorly designed. They fail because we couldn't follow through. Faith doesn't float in the air. It's built from small acts of self-trust, repeated, especially when it feels uncomfortable. That's what actually carries us through. And if we get this part right, it almost guarantees our ability to get back on our feet whenever a setback happens. Now let's talk about the positive. What happens when our plans actually succeed? How can we manage the discomfort that might show up on both sides? On our journey toward healthier relationships, not everyone will feel comfortable about the invisible wall we've built for ourselves. But keep this in mind. Growth is quiet, and it's meant to feel uncomfortable. The guilt, awkwardness, and tension we feel are normal. We can even begin to see those feelings as signals of success. So, ask yourself, what do I do when someone reacts negatively to my boundaries? What can I tell myself? With these reflections, I hope you'll feel less guilty and more confident when setting boundaries. Being warm, kind, and generous has nothing to do with being agreeable. Setting boundaries is simply a way of showing others what it takes to stay in a mutual relationship with us. The question was never why people don't respect us when we're being too nice, but what boundaries are we ready to set up today to allow us to be both kind and respected? Anyway, if you're interested in learning how to regulate your emotions in critical moments, check out this video right here and the free worksheet in the description box. See you in the next video. Bye!